Welcome to The Bone, the podcast that goes deeper. Here we cut through the noise and get straight to the core of the issues that matter. From real stories to raw truths, we dive deep into the conversations that shape our world and challenge our thinking. We're not afraid to dig in and get to the marrow of it all. Whether it's life, culture, or business in sports medicine, we're here to break it down raw and real. No filters, no fluff, just to the bone. With your host, Shelby Daly, we're getting to the bone. This is a clinically pressed, approved CEU podcast. Find the quiz to gain credit at clinicallypressed.org/courses. Clinically Pressed Company, making the complicated simple through results that give back. Find out more at clinicallypressed.org. Let's get started.
Welcome back to the Bone. Today we have Tamisha Guy, the owner and founder of Hue Tape. And I wanted to have her on because she's an innovator and entrepreneur in the sports medicine space. And I just wanted to learn a little bit more about putting it all together and what inspired her. So, Tamisha, what did inspire you to put together Hue Tape, and what gap in the market did it aim to fill?
Sure. So thank you so much for having me. Once again, my name is Tamisha Guy. I'm the founder of Hue Tape. And what inspired me to create Hue Tape, I wanted to create a product where melanin-rich individuals in particular felt seen, supported, and celebrated. As a professional dancer, I use tape a lot in my work, and I had to put makeup on tape to create a more natural and seamless look. And after years of doing this, I got sort of tired and frustrated, and I wanted to create a solution. So Hue Tape was born.
Awesome. So, putting it all together, what were some of the different aspects? Because I know the textile industry is very competitive, and kinesiology tape is very competitive. So how did you find all the providers that you needed to put this product together?
Sure. So I think, in the beginning, I had to do a lot of research. I had to sort of research competitors, see what was out there, and to really ensure that we were filling a gap in the market. And I realized that there are sort of a lot of skin tone brands, but not really, or let's say brands that are trying to sort of open up their product to, involve other individuals. And I realized that there was a gap for skin tone kinesiology tape in particular. We see kinesiology tape brands, creating colors such as beige or nude, but it's not a one size fits all. So I wanted to sort of create a range of shades that can support melanin-rich individuals in particular, but we're definitely interested in expanding our shade collection to, support everyone. And I would say sort of, in the beginning stages of creating the product, it was reaching out to a lot of manufacturers just to see what was possible. And I was met with a lot of, sort of no, and people saying it wasn't possible or be too expensive. And just staying true to my personality, I just went to the next person, and I just kept sort of going until we finally found a manufacturer that said yes, and we started, working with them.
Okay. So are you the sole owner of this company, or do you have any help from anybody else?
I'm the sole owner of Hue Tape.
Gotcha.
Yes.
And so raising funding, was that all on you, or did you do any outsourcing of like group funding or any of that?
So all of the funding, it fell on me, I would say, and it's definitely sort of a bootstrapped business. So I, had the idea to sort of create Hue Tape in 2019, and it took me until July 23 when we launched to sort of create that capital to produce the product. So self-funded for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody's always like, just start now, and
Right.
then everybody thinks it's going to happen tomorrow. So,
Right.
looking at a 3 to 4 year process, like that's kind of the real picture of how to get
Yes.
something started and rolling.
Very true.
So, some of the challenges that you possibly came across, we went through funding. Were there any other problems other than manufacturers saying no to you?
I would say, and thankfully, that was sort of the only issue, and I think that was a large sort of challenge because I needed someone to make the product. So if
Mhm.
there were, a number of manufacturers saying no, then I sort of was back to square one and had to do, the research process sort of over again. But I'm thankful that that was sort of the only challenge in the beginning because, once you find someone that gives you that yes. And you only need one person to say yes, right? In the beginning.
Mhm.
And I think once I got that yes, it sort of created more opportunities for me. I got more excited about the fact that I could create skin tone kinesiology tape products, but essentially I can work with these manufacturers to create other products once we're sort of, we've grown a little bit more.
Oh,
Raise the bar in 2025. Complete your BOC certification maintenance requirements early. Don't forget that 2025 is a reporting year for athletic trainers. Are you on track to complete your BOC certification maintenance requirements? Find out today by logging into your BOC profile at bocatc.org/BOC360. That's right, it's time, and this year is the year to renew your certification maintenance requirements. Check it out at bocatc.org/BOC360.
with the initial stages, I guess what took the most time in putting it together? Was it the sales? Was it the approval?
Yeah. I mean, building a business, it's a lot of work, and I feel like we hear that quite a bit, right?
Mhm.
But I knew sort of stepping into it that it was going to be a lot. And first, in finding a manufacturer, but also in thinking about the product itself, I wanted it to really feel as though our kinesiology tape was skin, right? So
Mhm.
finding the sort of perfect match in terms of skin tone, I had to do a lot of research on Pantone colors to ensure that it would be complementary to melanin-rich skin tones in
Mm.
particular. So I had to do a lot of sort of research going through books and going to different sites, finding different Pantone colors. So that took a lot of time. And then also like building the structure or foundation of the business that took time too, right? It's like figuring out if I'm forming an LLC, then thinking about trademarks, and then also how am I going to promote the brand and how am I going to cater to a specific audience? Like all of that sort of jargon that you hear in the beginning stages of building a business, I had to essentially learn. So I had to take some time, do research, and I'm still figuring it out. I don't have all the answers, but I am definitely very open, and I'm learning something sort of every single day
Yeah.
as I'm building out the brand.
Yeah. So would you want to give us a little bit more detail on your background? You said you were a dancer, but what else do you do?
Sure. So I am a professional dancer. I've been dancing for 10 plus years. Went to sort of middle school, high school, and college for dance. But I also studied arts management, which sort of gave me more insights into the behind the scenes of, the dance world, if you will. How do you
Mhm.
form a company, create a company, and all of the happenings that goes into that. But I'm also a dance instructor. I'm a jump professor at Barnard College, and I am a runner, so very sort of active person. So
Mhm.
tape played a huge part in my life, right? I use tape in performance. I use tape when I'm running to tape my knees, my back, literally any body part that I felt pain or discomfort. I use tape for that. So dance, I would say, is what led me to creating or wanting to create this product because I realized that I had this problem of not having a product that, I could use in performance. And I had the thought that, well, if I'm experiencing this, maybe other dancers and athletes and people from, other walks of life are also experiencing this as well. So
Mhm.
um, I would say dance was the gateway to bring me to creating the Hue Tape brand.
Gotcha. Um, and then it's always interesting learning people's background on kinesio tape. Um, it's still kind of a uh, in limbo product of people really loving it and understanding
Right.
it, and some people not believing it and thinking it's more placebo.
Right.
How did you come into kinesiology tape and really buy into it?
Sure. So prior to, knowing much about kinesiology tape, I used sort of a more bandage tape that I would put makeup on top of.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day I just sort of purchased kinesiology tape, but of course it wasn't, in my skin tone. It was more of a brighter color. And I
Yeah.
used it and I realized that it gave me the same sort of resistance and effect that I um, got out of using the bandage tape, but also kinesiology tape can serve other purposes, right? It can
Mm-hmm.
help to relieve pain and soreness and inflammation, minor muscles, joints, and ligaments. So I realized that it can serve me in sort of two ways. Um, but it wasn't sort of in my skin tone. So I think that's when the interest to figure out how to bring this product um, to life in different skin tones came to
Mm-hmm.
be. And, there is sort of a lot of information out there about kinesiology tape, whether it's effective or not. But through my experience and through other sort of stories that I've heard along the way, connecting with other athletic trainers and physical therapists, it does offer some support and some help. It's not saying it's sort of like a quicker fixer upper product, but it definitely gives you some relief. And I think sometimes when you're not able to, see a physical therapist or get care from an athletic trainer right away, if you're able to sort of use a product in the interim to support yourself, I think that is ultimately one of the goals that I have for the product.
With such a big market of kinesiology tapes, obviously you're a niche just due to the color and the market that you're going after, more the entertainment and dancer. How do you ensure that it still has the same quality and functionality as traditional kinesiology tapes?
Yeah, so I would say our like value proposition, if you will, it focuses on sort of accessibility, inclusivity, and recovery.
Mm-hmm.
And, it is a very sort of saturated field, but I can say that our adhesive strength is quite strong and it can definitely hold up with the leading brands in the field right now. And, we've sort of gotten that information through testing phases with athletic trainers and physical therapists, sort of using our product and sort of putting it through sort of some grim, sort of circumstances just to ensure that it was going to last and stick. So our strong adhesive strength and also, I think offering our product in various skin tones, we want to give people the option to heal in peace, right? You may not
Mm-hmm.
want your ailment or pain point to be on display. And at Hue Tape, we sort of want to give people that sort of comfort in knowing that, okay, I can wear, a product that's sort of closer to my skin tone, so I don't have to answer any questions if you don't want to. But I would definitely say our strong adhesive strength, and then of course offering that natural and seamless look through our skin tones is what sets us apart.
Yeah. Well, that's such an interesting marketing tactic, ultimately, which you're seeing with some other brands of more of the seclusion. Like, what is the brand? There's a bunch of track runners that are wearing a brand that
Mhm.
doesn't actually have any branding on it, and it's actually grassroots becoming very popular because you're
Mhm.
not necessarily giving the free advertisement while you're out performing and stuff. Um, did Are you kind of in that same boat, or are you just accidentally kind of doing the non-branding thing?
Well, I mean, I guess it's a bit of both, for me, sort of as a professional dancer in my work, in performance, I can't have sort of, a brand logo on something that I'm wearing
Yeah.
because it would be distracting. So I think I sort of fell into that sort of category by chance. But I also think, the focus is recovery and healing. So I don't
Hmm.
think we want our product name to sort of be the focal point.
Yeah.
We want you to be able to utilize the product and say, okay, I feel better after using this. But we don't, need people to know that I'm wearing Hue Tape unless you're saying you love it.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's where looking at branding and quality these days is I don't know how old you are, but, growing up, it used to be very quality driven products that, I'm still using today. And it's been, 30 years that I've had this product, where nowadays it seems very quick turnover, fast fashion, all this type of stuff. I'm kind of ready to go back to the quality so I don't have to
Right.
go out and find it again,
Right.
kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
So it's just interesting to talk about from a business aspect of, I think we've made fashion like flashy brand of showing who you're wearing, where it's
Hmm.
not really what is actually
Right.
complementing what you're doing or how you look. So it's very interesting. I don't know,
Yeah.
just popped in
N-
my head.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that too. I think quality over quantity, right? And I think for us it's about impact and about sort of supporting people in their healing and recovery journeys. So if you're purchasing, a tape product from us and because of its quality, it's lasting you for months, and you're not necessarily coming back and making more purchases, I think we're definitely okay with that,
Yeah,
because the quality sort of speaks for itself in that way.
yeah. So with this kind of not in your face branding, how are you getting the name out there, and how are you getting people to notice what you do?
Sure. So, still sort of a learning more about how to do that, right, effectively. But I think right now we're sort of doing a lot of our sort of online sales. We're sort of getting into ads and connecting with sort of a marketing agency to support us in sort of getting the word out there.
Hmm.
But I learn something new every day about how to, reach our target audience, if you will. Um, it's sort of specific language that you're using or content that you're sharing. But right now, you can sort of solely purchase from us through our online site, or we actually have a wholesale offer, and we use a platform called fear.com, where if you're interested in making wholesale purchases, you can make it on that site there.
Oh, cool.
Check out clinicallypressed.org/courses for access to free CEUs for athletic trainers. Register and enroll in as many CEUs as you'd like. New CEUs coming on a monthly basis, including from your host of To the Bone with Shelby Daly. Get ahead of your CEUs by listening to podcasts and getting credit for it. Clinically Pressed Company, making complicated simple through results that give back. Find out more at clinicallypressed.org.
Well, and I've had a few commercials from you. Thank you so much for partnering with us. So if anybody needs a little discount, THB20. So go on huetape.com and definitely stock up on your tape. So looking at the future, what else are you going to include, or what else are you doing going forth?
Yeah. So right now we have three shades. We have our walnut, our caramel, and our espresso shades, and we're definitely wanting to expand our shade collection to cover the full spectrum of hues. But we're also interested in creating other skin tone products to
Okay.
support other dancers, athletes, and people from all walks of life. So we're doing research right now, sort of thinking about what can sort of best serve, all people in their recovery and healing journeys. So we're excited just to continue to expand and grow and to really support people. As I shared, sort of impact is sort of at the pillar for us.
Mm-hmm.
And since creating Hue Tape, we've gotten such great feedback from people about how Hue Tape has supported them, how they feel seen in our product line, and just sort of hearing, feedback in that way. It sort of gives us the more of a fire and also gives us that reassurance that we're doing, good work. So I definitely want to continue to create products that can support and serve people, as they go about their day. So there's a lot on the horizon, it's more tangible things. We would love to sort of be in stores, and we would love to partner with, athletic teams and sort of get into sort of a broader space to support more people. But we're definitely excited for the future. There's a lot on the horizon. But as a newer brand, we also want to be mindful, of how we're growing, right? We don't want to grow too big too fast and then sort of disappear. So I want to sort of be really intentional about what we're adding to the product line as we sort of, move ahead.
Yeah. And so, advice wise, for someone that has an idea, wants to start getting it out there, possibly start making money off of it. I mean, that's the goal, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Part of it for sure.
Yeah. What advice would you give in your journey that you've experienced so far?
Yeah, so for, anyone that wants to create a product line or anything at all, I would say the first thing is to think about your why. Think about why you want to sort of create um, this product that you want to sort of serve and support people. And if that is the goal, I think understanding the audience that you're wanting to serve is really important. So understanding their needs, their preferences, I think is important. So doing research, research at the very beginning, just so you have, the answers and you're a bit more confident sort of as you continue to create whatever it is you want to bring to life. But remembering your why is really important because as things get tough as well, as you sort of continue to grow, you're going to need to sort of have something to ground you and to bring you back to the sole reason why you're creating what you're creating.
Yeah. And then what role does representation and wellness in sports in the development of products like Hue Tape mean to society, to athletics, to performance? What's your take on that?
Yeah, I think that's such a great question. And when I saw it come in, I was like, oh, yes, I can't wait. Um, but I think it's crucial, because it ensures that everyone is sort of, they feel seen, supported, and represented, and their needs are sort of being accounted for. I think that is something that um, we're wanting our brand to sort of represent. We want people to have that sort of like moment, when you see a product that you can see yourself and you sort of, you either have the largest smile on your face or you can just like be confident in that this product is going to support you. I can remember when, I think there was the option to have brown bandages. I believe the company is called Browndages. And just remembering how excited I was personally, but also other people who, had melanin-rich skin, we were like, wow, like we can actually wear this product and not sort of, have our whatever it is on blast. And
Yeah.
you really, really felt seen. So I think it's very crucial. And it is something that I would love to see more of in other products across, the board. But I think it is going to continue to be something that is the driving force for us because it's necessary. Yeah, it's necessary.
Yeah. So I know that you're just doing kinesiology tape, but do you see yourself doing the white athletic tape also at all in the future?
So I think because our sort of mission is tied to the skin tone, sort of skin tone products in particular,
Mhm.
I definitely have an interest in creating other tape products, but I do believe we'll sort of stay within the realm of offering it in various skin tones. Um, so, that can range from athletic tape to, more rigid tape. So we're definitely going to enter into all of those sort of, sort of the tape worlds, as you will. Because
Yeah.
in my research, I'm like, wow, there's a lot of tape. There's a lot of
Yeah,
tape
there
out
is a
there.
lot of tape.
Yeah.
It's a big market to enter, so that's
Yes,
why
it
it's
is.
awesome that you've done this and nobody's done it yet, which is
Yeah.
kind of crazy ultimately.
Yes.
So also looking forward or right now, what does success for Hue Tape look like to you in the long term, and how do you measure success?
Yes. I would say I measure success based on the impact that we have, the impact that our product sort of has on people that are in need of, an item such as ours. So, hearing the stories from people saying that it's been such a game changer in their healing and recovery, I think that's sort of what keeps us going. And that is why we do the work that we do. I definitely have large goals for the brand. I see um, the growth, I think, is exponential. And sometimes, when I'm thinking of bringing certain things to life, it sort of scares me. But that's when I know that I'm on the right path, right? When
Yeah.
I'm sort of like, how am I going to do this? And then I start to sort of, write things down and figure out how to take it one step at a time. But I would definitely say impact is sort of the driving force. We want people to feel seen, supported, and celebrated in whatever we do. And as long as we're sort of keeping that at the forefront, I think our goals will be met as we continue to expand and grow.
Awesome. So if somebody wanted to connect or possibly get involved with your mission, how would they go about doing that?
Yes, so you can send us a message at partnerships@huetape.com. You can head to our website at www.huetape.com, or if you're interested in sort of making, wholesale orders, you can connect through fear.com. We're on social media, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads, I'm saying now. And it's at HueTape_.
Perfect. Yeah, and if anybody needed a discount, THB20 is what you plug in when you're making your order. Is there anything else that we didn't touch on today that you want to talk about?
No, I think I'm just really excited to have been a part of this conversation this morning with you. So thank you for
Yeah.
having me and for highlighting the Hue Tape brand. And I cannot wait to hopefully be on at a future time when we're at a different stage in our business.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I really want to highlight those small businesses and entrepreneurs because that's how society grows and gets better. And that's where you can actually make an impact, I feel like. So I really want to highlight what you are doing. And I think you are going to make an impact on the sports med community with this application. I do think that we're starting to move into more, I don't know if security is the word, but trying to downplay injuries. So I think you kind of are on that leading edge of helping people be able to seclude what's actually going on, especially with the NIL stuff. I think people are trying to not necessarily cover up their injury, but try to make sure that they're promoting their talent rather than their setbacks at this point. So
Right.
It's going to be very interesting.
Yes, yeah. And we were excited to be in the conversation and to support. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being on today, and we will definitely have you in the future. Just let me know when you're ready and have that new product to launch, and we'll get you on.
Thank you. Talk soon. Bye.
That's it for today's episode of To The Bone. I hope we've sparked some new thoughts, challenged your perspectives, or simply reminded you to dig a little deeper. Remember, life isn't just about what's on the surface. Sometimes you've got to cut deeper and get to the bone of what really matters. To The Bone podcast is a product of Daily LLC. It is hosted and produced by Shelby Daly, ATC, and Randy Daly. No clinical decision-making should be based solely on one source. While care is taken to ensure accuracy, factual errors can be present. For more on the show, visit www.tothebonepodcast.com. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Get involved in the conversation. You can find us at www.tothebonepodcast.com. Drop us topic suggestions or be a potential guest. We're all about connecting with you, our listeners. Until next time, stay curious, stay grounded, and keep cutting deep.